I'm David Ben Moshe. With me is Chaim Ben Pesach, and I'd like to read to you some immigration rules, and you think about them. There will be no special bilingual programs in the schools, no special ballots for elections. All government business will be conducted in our language. Foreigners will not have the right to vote no matter how long they are here. Foreigners will never be able to hold political office. Foreigners will not be a burden to the taxpayers. No welfare, no food stamps, no health care or other government assistance programs. Foreigners can invest in this country, but it must be an amount equal to 40,000 times the daily minimum wage. If foreigners do come and want to buy land, that will be okay, but options will be restricted. You are not allowed waterfront property. This is reserved for citizens naturally born into this country. Foreigners may not protest, no demonstrations, no waving a foreign flag, no political organizing, no bad-mouthing our president or his policies. If you do, you will be sent home. If you do come to this country illegally, you will be hunted down and sent straight to jail. Now, you think these rules are harsh or what? Well, these are not our immigration laws, of course. These are the immigration laws of Mexico. These are Mexico's laws about foreigners. However, Mexico seems to have no problem sending their people by the millions to flood into this country and not only take back the Southwest, but take back the whole country. This is going to be the United States of Mexico before Mexico is finished. And it's not just Mexicans. We're also getting, of course, illegals from other countries around the world. But, of course, Mexico is the most populous of the illegals here. They also come in legally. Between the legals and illegals, they are going to dominate this population. And before long, it will be press 1 for Spanish, press 2 for English. And I believe in some places, they already have that. In some places, if you're not bilingual, you won't be hired. Chaim?
Our computer server already is, the company that's screwing up that screwed up our forum this week. It already is. Para español, presione uno. It already is. It already is that. It's already number one. But anyway, look at the hypocrisy. Did you know any of this, by the way? Did Dan Rather, or who's that new animal? That woman?
Katie Couric,
or any of the other pigs on network television, did they tell you any of this stuff? Did Fox Television tell you any of this? Has anybody told you any of this? I mean, this is the hypocrisy, the duplicity, the double standard. And then these people say America's not fair to them, while their own country, look how they behave. I mean, the incredible hypocrisy and double standard is just obscene. When are we going to wake up and stop feeling guilty? Now, I have a proposal to make on this program. No guilt. No apologies and no guilt. Americans have nothing to feel guilty about. Maybe there's certain things that Americans should feel guilty about. Americans don't do enough for their country. Americans have betrayed the little Israel over the years to help Arab, Muslim, Nazi terrorist nations. That's wrong. The Bible says that's wrong. God says we shouldn't do that. But I'm talking about no guilt on the things that all the leftist scum want us to feel guilty about. No guilt. We shouldn't feel guilty about deporting illegal aliens. We should feel guilty if we leave them here because we're endangering the survival of decent people. No guilt. Cut off the social programs. Cut off the welfare programs. Cut off the food stamps for everybody except maybe elderly people or the mentally retarded or blind or deaf people. I mean, would you agree that blind, deaf, mentally retarded people, elderly people who don't have enough to make ends meet, we can help?
Sure.
Okay. But other people, able-bodied adults, shouldn't get a penny. Shouldn't get a penny from other citizens.
And that includes corporations who are subsidized by the government. You lost your freedom, whether you know it or not, when the government said, we're going to charge you an income tax. The government was actually saying to you that we have more right to your property than you do.
There's no question about that. And there is no question that we have lost you don't even realize that you really don't have freedom in this country anymore, because you can't say what you want to say. Now, technically under the First Amendment you can say a lot, technically, if you want to talk to yourself or talk to the wall. But when evil people and politically correct fascists censor you on television, on the radio, in the mass media, when that happens, that means in effect you can't say what you want. You can't say that. You can't address your fellow citizens in a meaningful way. You can stand on a soapbox and everybody will think you're nuts, and you can speak in a park to 3 or 4 people. But you can't address your fellow citizens in a true, meaningful way. When all means of communication are controlled by a fifth column that wants to destroy you, that wants to destroy this country, that hates this country, that believes in a new world order, that believes that our national borders and our national sovereignty are obstacles to international trade. And what did George Bush say, and what did all the other leaders say? We should become, with all of North and South America, with Mexico and Brazil and all the countries in North and South America, we should become one big nation. We should have the same setup here that the European Union has, where they basically have surrendered their national sovereignty. We should have this with all of Latin America. I mean, if that happens, then that's the end of America. We have been swallowed up completely, and America is completely destroyed. And this is what our leaders want us to do. This is what they have been proposing. This is literally what they propose. In trade, in economics, in language, in every other area, they're literally proposing doing this. And so, either we wake up and understand this, or we're in a great deal of trouble. We're in a great deal of trouble. I don't know if it will take a nuclear bomb going off in an American city, God forbid, to finally wake the American people up. And I don't know if that'll wake them up. I really don't know. I don't know if we've gone past the point of moral decay where people just don't want to wake up and don't want to face reality. But the nuclear bomb is coming. The Muslims have trillions of dollars in oil money, and they're building nuclear bombs, and eventually, with all that money, they're going to figure out a way to set it off. They're promising to do it, and they're going to be able to do it. Eventually, they're going to be able to do it with all that money and all the know-how they're buying from infidels, from corrupt infidels like the Russians and the Chinese and the North Koreans. With all of that, eventually they're going to be able to do it. Now, I don't know if that's what it's going to take or what it's going to take. In this movement, we hope that it doesn't take any of those things.
If Pakistan falls, they'll already have it. If Musharraf gets overthrown or assassinated, and Al-Qaeda comes in and takes over, they've already got the bombs.
And if Iran, that's true, and if Iran, of course, completes its program as it's close to doing of developing nuclear bombs, then they have it. Then the Muslim terrorists have it. I mean, that's the situation where we're in tremendous danger here. And we have leaders that don't tell us the truth and that don't level with us. We have leaders here that allow us to be put into this danger, that set us up in these situations. They're setting us up for a nuclear holocaust and for nuclear danger, and they're refusing to face the reality. They don't want to face the reality because they're afraid that it'll hurt our oil shipments from Iran. If we attack Iran and destroy Iran's nuclear program, that's going to hurt the oil companies' revenue. That's what they're worried about. And by the way, that's the truth. That is a big consideration for the Bush administration and for the Democrats. Let me tell you something. We can turn the tide. We can make a difference. But the only way we can do it is if we all join together and we become a big movement, a mass movement, through this organization, through the Jewish Task Force. By the way, the Jewish Task Force, most of our members are not Jewish. You don't have to be Jewish to join the Jewish Task Force. You join with us. We can turn the tide. We can change this situation. We can do it if we want to do it. We still have enough ability, and the Founding Fathers still gave us enough constitutional protections that if we united and if we decided to do this, they can't stop us from forming and becoming a mass movement and from changing the dynamics of this entire situation. If only we have the desire to do it. That's the whole question. That's the whole question. Join with us, help us, and together we can change history. We can save America. We can make a difference. Shalom.